Welcome everybody, I am Nuanga and this is the rest of my team. Our case study is peer-to-peer architecture used by FireChat and its performance, scalability, availability and security. Let's start with the introduction. FireChat is a mobile chat app. It is a proprietary app developed and owned by Open Garden. Currently, they have more than 6 million active users and they use a wireless mesh network to continue its performance. FireChat was originally launched in 2014 and since 2014, many changes have been done to FireChat to provide its customers with a good user experience full of high performance, scalability, availability and security. Now let's discuss about the selection of architecture style. According to the CEO of Open Garden, main goal of this app is to establish a network of phones that communicate with each other without any internet facility or a cellular coverage. According to them, the best solution is peer-to-peer architecture. The reason provided is a peer-to-peer architecture is an architecture that uses a decentralized network of peers that function as both clients and servers at the same time. Let's talk about the contribution of quality attributes to the system success. Under this, we consider 4 quality attributes. From them, first is performance. FireChat app uses a peer-to-peer network, so any loss of internet or mobile cellular coverage will not affect performance at any time. Second quality attribute is the scalability. As more users join with FireChat, its network grows. When it comes to lot of other popular chat apps, this is the opposite. When more users join with FireChat, these users act as servers at the same time. As a result, it increases the scale of the app. Availability. App uses a decentralized network, so failure of few servers, here mobile phones are considered as servers, or any issues like no cellular coverage have a zero impact on the app. Last quality attribute we consider is the security. FireChat adopts a end-to-end encryption in private message. So when you send a message from sender to receiver, the content of the message will be secured. Finally, we can conclude that combination of continuous high performance, high scalability, high availability and security ensures system success. How selected architecture and quality attributes affect on overall quality of the system. Under that, using peer-to-peer architecture enables continuous high performance, high scalability and high availability. Continuous high performance regardless of cellular coverage and the internet facility is a key quality factor in FireChat. Improvement of scalability is directly proportional to the demand. When the demand rises, the scalability grows and the ability to increase the scalability also increases. This is a unique advantage that you can only find in FireChat. High availability is considered as a key factor that a communication app should possess. FireChat is able to maintain this availability even without the reception or any internet facility. Finally, use of end-to-end encryption enables security within the FireChat and improve the quality of this app. According to these points, we can conclude that the chosen architecture or the quality attributes does not worsen the quality of this FireChat app but increase the overall quality of the app. Now I will invite Tanuja to continue the rest. Thank you.
Okay, in this section, we will have a look at what are strategies used by developers of FireChat application to improve the quality attributes. In here, we have considered about 4 main quality attributes. Those are performance, availability, scalability, and security. Before moving to that, I will give you a small comparison between a FireChat application and very popular WhatsApp application. I think it will be useful to explain the rest of the presentation. As you can see in the picture, when someone sends a message using WhatsApp, that message go to the nearest cellular tower and that cellular tower redirects that message to the relevant receiver. That's how the WhatsApp works, but this is not the case in FireChat. In FireChat, when someone sends a message, that message go through several mobile phones and finds the relevant receiver. This is achieved because of the peer-to-peer architecture and no need of mobile network. There are advantages and disadvantages of this method. Now we will have a look at how the developers have overcome these challenges by improving the quality attributes. Our first quality attribute is performance. Performance in simple term is the time that system takes to execute a given task. If the time that it takes is high, the performance is low, and if the time that it takes is low, the performance is high. FireChat has used Bluetooth and Wi-Fi direct technologies to communicate with others. As we all know, Bluetooth is little bit slow for data sharing, but it is very good for connect with other devices. By getting that advantages, FireChat developers has used Bluetooth for connect with others, and for data sharing they have used Wi-Fi technology. Because of that, using FireChat, we can share very huge files such as huge video files within seconds, and the data sharing speed is much higher than communicating through a mobile network. I think using Bluetooth for connect with others and using Wi-Fi for share data with others is a very good approach to improve the performance. Our second quality attribute is availability. Availability in simple terms is the system should available when and where the user want to use the system. Typical messaging apps use internet connection to transfer messages, and there is a risk of unavailability of the service at any time if the connection fails. But in FireChat, there is no risk of unavailability of the service because in peer-to-peer architecture, it doesn't depend on the internet. So the availability of the service is so high, and as more people use FireChat in an area, availability increases. That means if there are more users, more FireChat users, there are more nodes to transfer the messages. So when someone sends a message and the receiver is in a long distance, but it's not a problem since there are more intermediate nodes between the sender and receiver, so that message go from one node to another and one node to another. So by that way the message will be reached to the receiver in a less time. Of course there are military grade devices that can shut off all the signals in an area, but that's an extreme case of where FireChat could get shut down. uh, as a major factor, I should note that if and where internet is available, FireChat works like a regular chat. Our third quality attribute is scalability. Scalability in simple term is ability to scale up the system without affecting the performance. Most of the messaging apps network will be slowed down when there are more users who uses that service. This is happen because of that service is available through the internet. But this is not the case in FireChat app. When there are more users who use FireChat, the more strengthened the network will be. This is happened because of the peer-to-peer architecture. More users means that more nodes in the peer-to-peer architecture, and when someone sends a message, there are many nodes to transfer that message to the receiver. So the more users means that more nodes, and there is no any affect to the performance of the system as well. And it is very easy to scale up the network since it only need more smartphones with FireChat app. And the main point is there is no any additional upgrading cost or additional work is involved. And use of peer-to-peer architecture is very good approach to improve the scalability. Our fourth quality attribute is security. In FireChat, because of messages are passed node by node, developers were facing a problem of how to prevent other nodes, that means other users, from viewing the message other than sender and the receiver. Developers were able to came up a successful solution by encrypting messages from one node to another. Intermediate nodes will not be able to view the message, and only the sender and receiver will be able to view that messages because of the message is encrypted by node. Uh, Next, we will take a look at how other quality attributes were affected. Firejet has introduced a voice messaging feature to cater disabled person, and it uses one-page layout like WhatsApp. And the only step users have to do prior to using the app is creating an user account and signing. Firechat developers have done all of these things to improve the usability, and Firechat releases update typically once a month to improve their reliability.
Thank you, Tanuja. When moving on to the evolution section, the main architecture pattern that is there in this FireChat application is peer-to-peer architecture. So here, each node acts as a client or a server. Furthermore, these connected nodes have the same capabilities and the responsibilities. That is how this architecture works in this application. So the main concept of this FireChat application is to connect more users to the application. Then only this FireChat application will increase the scalability of this app. That is the main reason of not changing the architecture pattern of this application. Though there weren't any changes in this architecture, there were some changes in the application. Earlier, in this FireChat application, developers mainly focus on this peer-to-peer architecture network. The network there in this app is mesh network, which combines Bluetooth and Wi-Fi direct. Bluetooth is to connect users, and Wi-Fi direct to share information among the users, because Bluetooth is somewhat slow to share information between users. That is why there is Wi-Fi direct technology. Earlier, they have not used in this application. They have not used internet to share things among the users or for messaging. But later on, they have added some features like messaging using internet. That is the changes in the application, but they did not change the architecture pattern of this application. So that is about the evolution of this FireChat application. Let's move on to the trade-off. Okay. In urban areas, the places where the penetration level is somewhat here, they have used example 5%. So it means when we send a message in urban areas which have the penetration percentage rate is 5, it will take about 20 minutes to reach the message. It is because through the air it fluctuates the flow of the message. That is the main reason of taking much longer to reach the message to FireChat users. And the other way around, places where densely populated areas, it takes only a couple of minutes to reach the message. Okay, that is all about evolution and trade-offs. Next, my friend Imal will continue the rest. Thank you.
So during the course of my presentation, I would like to first focus on the recommendations we have for FireChat as an application. We believe that FireChat can expand into markets that have not been explored yet, such as telecommunications during natural disasters, during emergencies where networks fail, where uh, congestion happens, and we believe the unique peer-to-peer architecture and the mesh network allows FireChat to function efficiently in those extreme environments. And we further believe that the strength of the broadcast messages and the security of the broadcast messages need to be further enhanced because messages are sent to anyone in the vicinity and anyone in the mesh network. We also believe battery efficiency of FireChat needs to be improved because it uses Bluetooth and Wi-Fi services which are very battery heavy, and this needs to be looked into by the developers. And with a growing user base involved in protests, involved in demonstrations, we believe user anonymity and privacy is important, and this is something that FireChat needs to explore to ensure the safety of its users. Further, we also believe that there needs to be a mechanism to prevent spam because anyone in the mesh network can send broadcast messages, and it is very easy to flood the network in that case. And also the prevention of harmful content, malware on an unencrypted broadcast service needs to be looked into. And we also believe that there needs to be a method to ensure persistent delivery of messages similar to traditional communication applications such as WhatsApp. When internet is not there, whenever the phone reconnects with internet, the message gets delivered, but that mechanism is not implemented in FireChat, and we believe that is something that would appeal to users on a higher level. And also we believe that trust level could be established for the mesh network. So if the mesh network is comprised of users that are already in the contact list of the current user, it could be a high trust level. But if the users are all unknowns and are not present in the contact list of the user, the trust level of the mesh network and the trust level of the peer-to-peer architecture could be reflected accordingly. Further, I would like to look at how FireChat has remained competitive and what it can do to remain competitive, and certain disadvantages it has in the current market given its architectural style, given its quality attributes, and given what it provides to its users. We have seen FireChat have a rapid surge in popularity despite other popular applications such as WhatsApp, Telegram, and Viber. And that is because the peer-to-peer architecture allows it to fill a void left by these services, which was explained previously in the presentation as well. The mesh network allows it to function well during internet shutdowns, during network congestions, and during network overload, and allows FireChat to function in an environment that the other applications simply cannot. Further, the architectural style of FireChat allows it to expand into developing countries because it can be integrated into society with minimum infrastructure. So third world countries that do not have enough money to develop the telecommunications infrastructure could look at something like FireChat, which has self-sustaining mesh network and a peer-to-peer architecture without the use of underlying architecture, without the use of underlying infrastructure to develop a telecommunications network. However, FireChat has not been able to match the reliability of traditional communications applications because they use a very solid underlying infrastructure. But we have shown that when those fail during emergency conditions, FireChat has been able to fill that void and fill that gap. Another interesting development by FireChat is MeshKit, which is an open source implementation of the underlying architecture of FireChat, and it is presented to developers to use innovatively in other applications and during other implementations of the same peer-to-peer architecture and the mesh network itself. So during the course of this presentation, we have shown to you the quality attributes, the underlying architecture, and what FireChat is. So in a nutshell, FireChat has been a pioneer in utilizing peer-to-peer architecture. It uses Bluetooth and Wi-Fi Direct to establish a mesh network that has revolutionized modern communications. And this architecture in itself has allowed it to rise in popularity, especially in the modern world where internet shutdowns are common and network failures are common. So FireChat may not be perfect, but it definitely fills a void when all the other traditional methods fail, and we believe it is an very curious and very interesting implementation of peer-to-peer architecture in implementing a telecommunications network. We have certain references. If you want, you can follow these up and learn more about FireChat as well. And we hope that you received a good understanding of the application, its underlying architecture, and what it means in a broader sense. Thank you.